Security Committee. Congressman, thank you very much for being here. I do want to get to, obviously, the border issue, and I want to play some of what happened there today. But initially, I'd like to get your response to what we're learning in terms of these reports at this point that 2 Polish residents were killed by a Russian missile today. Give me your thoughts on what that means.
Well, my initial thought is that the Russian army's incompetence and shortcomings are on full display in Ukraine. So it's not clear whether it was an accident or intentional. But either way, I think your guest that was on before me got it right by saying we need to give Poland anti-missile capabilities. NATO as a whole needs to beef up its operations around Ukraine to make sure this doesn't happen again, whether it was an accident or not.
All right. More on that as we get it coming in. We're waiting for more response from the White House and from the Pentagon, and we're going to bring that to folks as soon as we get it. In the meantime, here is a bit of what unfolded today in this hearing. Let's watch.
Secretary Mayorkas, do you continue to maintain that the border is secure?
Yes, and we are working day in and day out to enhance its security.
Director Wray, do you believe that the border is secure?
We see significant criminal threats coming from south of the border, whether it's guns, drugs, money, violence.
Okay, let's put the numbers up on the screen of those who have crossed the border illegally in fiscal 22, 2.3 million, over 2.3 million people. Can you explain to our viewers at home how Secretary Mayorkas can look at those numbers and say that the border is secure? What does he mean? What is he referring to when he says that?
I can't explain why he says the border is secure, and I think the best example of that is a fellow member of the administration, Director Wray, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, is laying out chapter and verse the threats at the border and what they are. And let's not forget, 106 or 108,000 people died of drug overdoses last year. It's now the #1 killer of adults 18 to 45, and that's skyrocketed exponentially under this administration. And so is the number of crossers, so is the number of terrors, people on the terror watch list that's been seized. There's no way this border is secure, and it's indefensible for him to say that.
Your seat was held in this election. You are retiring. This may have been your last committee meeting today, and you were thanking a lot of those who were involved. Brandon Williams will take your seat. But, when you look at this situation of what we're seeing at the border, the next Congress, the Republican majority, if indeed they secure it, has talked about potentially impeaching Mayorkas. Is this, do you think, an impeachable situation when the head of Homeland Security has failed to work to provide a southern barrier that has integrity for protecting the country?
Yeah, I think our job in the majority, and we will get the majority as soon as today, if not in the next couple of days, I'm certain of that, it's accountability. And whether that comes from an impeachment or bringing these people to bear to show that they're not being truthful or to show the incompetence of this administration, accountability is the key word here, and that's what we're going to do in this committee. And I know my successors here are going to pick up that mantle and go with it, but accountability from what the facts are, accountability as to what the death and destruction is at the border, accountability for the number of people dying in this country, accountability for the terrible way the Customs and Border Protection has been treated. The number of suicide rates amongst Border Patrol agents has skyrocketed. There's a lot to hold these individuals accountable for. And I can tell you and assure the American people, they will be held accountable.
Yeah, those are 2 very poignant and horrific numbers. The number of suicides among the Border Patrol, and also that we have the highest number of deaths among migrants who have made the journey crossing into our country. So this is not a safe situation by any stretch of the imagination. John Katko, Congressman, thank you very much, and thanks for your service on Capitol Hill. We look forward to speaking with you after you leave office as well. Thank you, sir.